Hey, hi there. Good evening. My name is Banjore. It's nice to be with you all again. I'm back and I'm refreshed. So it's good to be here. It's good to be with you all. How have you guys been doing? It's nice to be with us this evening. Today we are going to be talking about remedying leadership pitfalls. And somebody asked me why that topic. You'll see why we decided to do that. Now, this training is going to be in two parts. But this first one is going to be very crucial to our understanding the second part of the training because I don't intend to take much of our time today. Remedying leadership pitfalls. There are a lot of pitfalls. There are a lot of issues that is happening to every one of us. It's happening all around the world amongst the G7, G20, wherever they are. There are leadership crises here and there. Some places it's not a crisis, it's just more of issues that bother on leadership, and in some places it's actually pitiable. In recent weeks, I'm sure you've heard that there was another uproar in an African country. You know, soldiers came, took over the government because of this and that and all that. That's not why we are here, but we just need to mention some of these real life things. So the question that I want to throw out this evening for us, probably if you have the answer, you can just scribble it down in the comments. And the question is, for our country, Nigeria, do we have a base map for development as a nation? Do we have a base map for development as a nation? Please just let me know what that base map is and what we have benchmarked against when you get that answer. So, as an individual, what are we talking about this evening? Now we want to talk about self-leadership because if we are going to remedy the leadership pitfalls going on around the world in our nation, we should be careful not to throw stones because if you live in a glass house, you don't throw stones. Oftentimes, people throw stones at those in government, at those in parliaments, throw stones at the president, throw stones at the governor. But the issue is that we are all guilty of the same offense. And so we want to see how we can remedy these quote unquote pitfalls or loopholes, blips, whatever you think it is. It might even be in your organization, it might be in your church. But so let's take a look at some of these things. So now, what is leadership? Leadership is harnessing the efforts of people so as to achieve the goal of building a nation or organization or perform an enterprise. Leadership is all about building. It's all about making things right. It's all about making things good. Now, we are not talking about the devil whose sole aim is to kill, steal, and to destroy. He is not a leader. He is not a good leader. And there are people like that. But we are talking about upwardly mobile, progress facing people who are interested in making things right. And so everything about leadership development smells of building and equipping people to achieve particular goals or tasks. And so, but effective leadership is actually different from leading alone because there are people that are leaders but they are not effective. You know that according to John Maxwell, there are 5 levels of leadership, which is the positional and influence people to achieve specific notable feats in such a way that the leader does not lose, the people does not lose, and everything you are doing is achieved. So, effective leadership is when there's a win-win for every one of us. Now, let's quickly go here now. What are the benefits of having excellent leadership in our socio-graphical location? So, what are the benefits that good leadership is supposed to bequeath to our people? And I've been able to write down 7 things. Number 1, a good leader will nurture potential of his people. Number 2, a good leader will create right infrastructure for his people. Number 3, Good leadership will invest in people development. Number 4, good leadership will provide economic opportunities that is guaranteed for all. Number 5, good leadership will focus on nutritional abundance. Food will be available for all. Number 6, there will be social unity and exuberance. It will be guaranteed. The ethnic groups, there will be love and all that. Then number 7, there will be a proper conditioning of our geriatrics. What I mean by this last one is that the elderly people, their future will be guaranteed. See, when people don't know that their future is guaranteed, when they are young, they will start stealing and start preparing for their old age. So these are some of the things that people will benefit when there is a good government in place. Now, I'm not insinuating anything. I'm just saying that basically, when there's good leadership in place, these are things that should be taken care of. Now, the question is that what are you and I? What are we intentionally doing to become the good leader that we seek? If you want somebody to be a good leader, what are we doing? The young ones, the leaders of tomorrow, the so-called leaders of tomorrow that are crying and shouting that they say we are the leaders of tomorrow, but the elderly ones are still the ones there. If we are not ready, if you guys are not ready, if you are not ready to take up responsibility, then you cannot be a leader. A lot of people, they are waiting. You see, the democracy is not a kingship. It's not a kingship where somebody will just come and ordain you to be a king and a leader. No. You are the one that will work on yourself and build on yourself so that you will now be recognized to be a leader. You will earn it. Leadership is earned. In some places, in some climes in Africa, it is taken by force. But if you cannot take it by force, then why don't you earn it? There are people that have built their bank in Nigeria legally. They worked on themselves. There's a bank that started from a 3-bedroom flat somewhere in Lagos, and it's an household name now. So you have to earn what you want to see. So the question is that, what are you? That's why I have titled this Remedying Leadership Pitfalls. What are the remedy? Where you are right now, how are you remedying it? What you are seeing other people do, the negative things you are seeing other people do, how are you preparing yourself to step into their shoes and do things in a better way? Because there's no straddling. There's no here or there. You are either leading right or not leading at all. If you are not leading right, then that means that you are preparing to manipulate people. If you want to be a leader, but you know you don't have what it takes to be a leader, then that means that you are preparing and gearing up yourself to manipulate people. And if you are not doing any of this, that means that you yourself, you are being used. So that means you are serving an unproductive idea. There are so many young people now that they are serving ideas that are unproductive. They are following people that are not leaders. They are less than leaders. So you will do what you ought not to do if you don't know what to do. When you don't know what to do, then you settle for less. So I believe the solution is to have a better world, to have a better place, to have a better government, to have a better democracy. I think that every one of us, we need to work on ourselves. We need to. You need to become the change that you want to see. If you are 18 years old now, and you are thinking that the way my father is leading this family, I don't like it, then you begin to ask yourself that, what do I need to do? You see, I read a testimony of an American. He said, I did not like the way my father treated my mom. He said, my mom is very brilliant, but she stopped at being a teacher. He said, my mom could have gone farther and be a professor. He said, but my father refused my mom to go back to school. So she made up her mind that she was going to send herself to school. She was going to be all that she wants to be before she marries. or whoever she's going to marry to will be somebody that will not deter her. So you need to make up your mind about what you are going to do. The ills, the wrongs, the pitfalls that you see around you. What are you preparing yourself to remedy it? What are you doing? What will you do about it? Because we are just so used to religious praying, read our Bible alone, which is good. But what are we studying? How did Hong Kong, Singapore, how did they come from being a third world nation? How did they become a first world nation? How is Brazil doing it? How is China doing it? Are we studying? Are we reading books? A lot of young people, all they do is to download lyrics alone. They are not buying books, spending money on books. The data you are buying, what are you using it for? Some people are just content in being in their little corner. But don't be content without you wanting to change the world. The ills you are seeing in the National Assembly, what are you doing about it? What are you doing? What are you learning? What are you doing about it? So that's why we have said that we need to find out how to remedy leadership pitfalls. And one way to do that is not to kill everybody. It's not only to pray them out. It's not to shout and cause chaos and to do a luta, but it is to also examine yourself. Self-leadership. So, personal leadership is leadership of the self. It is the ability to get clarity of definitions of the trajectory and direction of your life. So, personally, like now, I have never followed any politician on the streets and run around shouting and carrying stones and daggers. I have never done that, and I will never do that. Why? Because I know I have an idea of where I'm going to. I would like to earn a seat on the United Nations. I would like to register my company with the United Nations. So I would like to be on a global platform where we will be providing solutions for the problems of the world. I don't want to be a state player alone. But remember, I have to start from where I am. And so where I am, what I do is that from time to time, I do these leadership trainings to re-educate young people. For over 10 years now, I have had conferences, I have had trainings, most of them free, for young people just to change their mindset, just to shift their paradigm, and to make them see that this is the right thing to be done. Teaching them, how did Israel, a nation that had no land, how did they meet the land that had no nation? How were they built up? What did they do? Teaching them the right way. In my own way, I'm affecting my own corner of the world. And there's so many young people that has passed through what God has put in my heart that are doing well now. So the questions are, what are you doing about it? So getting angry and foaming in the mouth alone is not enough. Signing sanctions, declarations, and sending it wherever you are is not enough. You need to get clarity of the definition of the trajectory of your life for your leadership. You need to ask yourself, what am I supposed to do? What do I need to build in? If you need to go to a business school, a leadership school, or to be mentored by somebody, do that. Because you need to be consistent. You need to be clear and consistent as to what you want to do. Self-leadership is the best form of leadership. A leader that cannot lead him or herself cannot lead a nation. Praise the Lord. Amen. So, woefully bad leaders didn't always start that way. At least the sincere ones, they didn't start that way. There were leaders that were good. They started good, and something happened, and something just happened. It can be either of these three things. I mean, the bad leaders that we now see, all of them didn't start that way. Number one, they must have lost the vision along the way. They must have forgotten the reasons why they were sent to the assembly. They must have lost it. They didn't remember. Some of them have never traveled outside this country before. They traveled to the island of Malta and they just lost it. They just lost it. They forgot their people at home. They forgot the problems at home. They forgot where they were coming from. They forgot that their village is just one tiny spot on earth. So they lost the vision. Number two, there was no vision at all. When they came into leadership, it was their godfather or somebody somewhere that just push them there. You see, I don't respect a politician who does not have a degree. I don't respect a politician who was not doing something before they came into power. You must be doing something at least. My heart cries that someday politics in this nation will not be a means of any livelihood. We need to de-emphasize political power as a means of earning livelihood. When we do that, then we'll see those that are really interested in it. Then four, along the way, they didn't lose the vision. Some they didn't have any vision. They just came into it. You see the way people fight. Well-meaning people, the way they fight and throw caution to the wind. They have no vision. They are not leading anybody. Then three, they become greedy at some point. They become greedy and amend the vision to suit themselves. Why will you amend a policy to suit yourself? Why will you add a parastatal and you amend the laws to suit you? That tells you that person became greedy. So leading ourselves entails a lot. You cannot teach others what you didn't learn. You cannot enforce on people what you are not practicing. Leadership is so crucial that it is what God uses to bless a nation. The Bible says that these leaders cause their people to err. When the leader of a nation, when it's bad, or when things are not being done the way it should be, the nation is going to be poor. People will be poor. People won't prosper. Because there's a place in the scripture that says, believe the Lord your God, you will now. He said, but believe his prophets that you will more than you will be established. When there's no beliefs, when people don't believe the people that is leading them, then they will not be helped. There are some leaders that mean well, but people are not believing them. Why? That means that there are some clouds around them that they should remove. My heart cry this evening is that we all settle down, we all calm down, and we all see that we need to believe our leaders. Some of them have good intentions. We just need to support them. We need to pray for them. Some of them don't know what they are doing, but we need to pray them into God's will. Because it's scriptural. The Bible says that we should respect those that are in authority. I don't subscribe to us abusing our leaders, lampooning them on Facebook, on social media, abusing. It is wrong to name call your leader and be abusing the person and mudslide the person. If God has allowed that person to be there, let them be there. Then you pray for them. So people don't only just follow what they see. They follow what you do. So you can't enforce what you don't practice. So that's why you have to start self-leading yourself now. Because you are going to build your company. You are going to build your organization. You are going to build your family. A father is a leader. If you're a father, you have 2 children, you're already a leader. They will do what you are doing. Years ago, when my children were a bit young, I always tell them, stop putting your hand in your boxers. Stop putting your hand in your boxers. I always tell them. So one morning, I woke up, I came out of the room and I forgot my hand was in my boxer. And my daughter said, Dad, what are you doing? I said, what? He said, you told us to stop putting our hand in our shorts, but see your hands in your shorts. So I just moved. I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I now intentionally carry myself within the house, knowing that my actions actually affect my children. A leader should intentionally carry himself or herself, knowing that their actions is being monitored by their assistants. So if you are a governor of a state and you have like 200 assistants, but you fly out of your state every Tuesday and you come back the next Tuesday, your assistants will start doing the same thing. If you bring women into your place where you work and you sleep with them, your people will start doing that too. But if you are simple, then your people will copy that. I mean, every good thing that has happened in this nation and that is still happening, it was somebody that started it. Somebody read that bill. Somebody called for that bill. Every good thing you have seen us do in Nigeria, it's for somebody that started it. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Free education, somebody started it. The feeding of the poor, somebody started it. Palliatives, somebody started it. Good drama, somebody started it. Good music, somebody started it. Good production, somebody started it. I mean, people now give, there are some great people now that give people money on social media. Somebody started it. Somebody is building houses for people on social media. Somebody started it. What are you going to start? You can't start anything when you are not leading yourself right. Let me share something with us. If as a leader, if every time you make a mistake, your fingers. If you make a mistake or you do something wrong and you cut your fingers, the next time you make another mistake, you will take a knife and you cut your fingers. It will instruct your subordinates that if our leader can cut his or her fingers, then what's going to be my own portion? Guys, if I cut my fingers every time that I make a mistake, I won't even teach you. Once you make a mistake, never just do something. And these were things that were happening in the Orient. I'm sure you watched films. So. The Triad. You read about them. I saw them in movies. I didn't live with them. No. But I heard that it actually happened in ancient Orient. That was the leadership model. You do something wrong, you bloop or anything, then you cut your fingers. And this helped their loyalty system. They were loyal till death. If I've watched Showdown in Little Tokyo, Dolph Lundgren and what's the name of this guy? Bruce Lee's son. They were going to interview a guy that was involved in something, and before they interviewed the guy just killed himself. Because they have been taught to kill themselves before they are questioned. Even spies, they bite on cyanide. That is what they were taught. So when you teach people and you practice what you teach, they will follow you. They will follow you. Young people, they learn by watching. The Nigerian youth that I know, they are not lazy. They are not lazy or laid back. They just need opportunity to express themselves. When the infrastructure is right, I'm not saying it's not right. I'm not saying, but it's not readily accessible. There are still some places where there are no lights. There are places that there is no toilets. There are places where people rob and steal things. People are still going through tough times. It's not easy to get jobs for young people. People are ready to work. See the way people work. See the way they sell in go-slows. You guys are here with me. So that's what I'm saying. Show us the good things you are doing consistently and see young people do it too. If they say all public officials should stop using cars that they buy outside Nigeria, and so all the cars we use in this country should be made in Nigeria, you see what will happen. Celebrities will follow, I'm sure. They will follow. The Banky W's, the Davidos, the Two-Face. These guys will follow. Tim Godfrey and the rest of them. Pastors, they will start buying made in Nigerian cars. When everybody start buying made in Nigerian cars, made in Nigerian stuff, you see what will happen to this country. A lot of people start producing things. We will stop going abroad. Their dollar will be useless to us. That's what we are saying. Self-leadership. Lead yourself well. Then come out to lead us. Then you see that we will follow you. Daniel Goleman, the supposed father of emotional intelligence, he said exceptional leaders distinguish themselves because of superior self-leadership. Superior self-leadership. Mahatma Gandhi was superior in his self-leadership. He led it. He didn't wear any clothes. He didn't live in any fancy house. That's how he lived till he died. I mean, Mother Teresa, self-leadership. The Pope is supposed to live well, and he's living well. He's going all around, greeting everybody and all that. I mean, these guys are showing us how things are done. I want to call on our fathers too. A lot of them are showing us how to live. I mean, our fathers-in-law are really trying. Daddy Adeboye is very humble, very nice, very warm, dresses simply. I'm not saying it's wrong to dress glamorously, but be sure that whatever you do, the people you are teaching can follow you. They have the capacity to reciprocate or to replicate what you are doing. You can't teach this without mentioning names. So, what we are saying is that if you are disciplined and lead purposefully, objectively, sincerely, with integrity, it's going to spread in the system. If you lead 100 people and you are purposeful, objective, sincere, with integrity, it spread in the system. For example, you started a company. After 10 years, the company blew up. Then you bought a phantom jet. You bought a phantom, what do they call this car now? Guys, how do they call this car? This Rolls Royce. You bought a phantom Rolls, but the guys that you started the company with, they are still on Toyota Corolla. You are using a phantom jet. You sleep around hotels and you enjoy another. Yes, it's your company, but these guys helped you. But your guys are still living on a mortgage. How do you want them, if they start stealing your money? I mean, look at the billionaires around the world. Most of them, they are retiring and letting their subordinates take over the company. They are allowing their subordinates to buy shares in their company, to have shares in their company. They are not building an empire. Until we start saying that raising up a company is community service. You are serving your community and you are still having profits in your pockets. The good things we do will spread, and the bad ones we do will spread. A shabbily dressed leader will produce same kind. Excellence begets excellence. If we lead well where we are, it will soon be a culture. It will spread. It will spread. Our nation, Nigeria, is on the crest of that. Remnants everywhere are beginning to rise up. Remnants are beginning to rise up and reject the mundane status quo. Oh my God. People, go on Twitter, you see people are beginning to fight being mundane. People are helping each other. Don't tell me people are doing things. I mean, you see people maltreating children, their wives. You see people standing up and saying, I'll pay for the business. I mean, this country is on a crest right now. Things will happen, it will spill over, but only because somebody decided to lead himself well. And so it spread into the neighborhood. My neighbor should not go hungry because there's no job. If I have an overflow, I should be able to hand them some. And it's not a matter of religion or anything. We are all humans. Because Jesus didn't come to die for any nation, any creed. He didn't come to die for any color. He came to die for all. So we need to stay close. As I close now, we need to stay close to the source of creation. If you remain in tune with the fountain of wisdom, we will do better. We will be true to base map of why we were created. When you stay close to God, source of creation, fountain of wisdom, if you stay close to God, we will do the reasons why we are created. It will not be so difficult to lead again. Naturally, man have dominion over everything, over animals, over herbs, over animate objects, over, but not humans. You are not to have dominions over human. And that is why God created man. God created work. And God gave man, woman to assist. Let's allow our women. Let's allow them to help us. Let's give them room. Naturally, women are more in tune with their compassion. You see a woman lead, you see them, they are objective, they are disciplined. I know, yes, there are some women that are not, but most of the time, you see women, they are compassionate. Let's allow them. Man can't do it alone. So, listen to me. Eroding the great intentions of marriage alone makes us bad leaders. So if you are listening to me, if you are a man, your marriage is also important. Self-leadership. If you cannot handle that marriage, if you cannot take care of your marriage, if you cannot handle your children and your wife, that might make you a bad leader. Remember that the Bible scripture says that even if you are going to appoint a deacon, an elder, their children has to be well behaved. And it must be husband of one wife. Impliedly, what I'm saying is this. Self-leadership. We should not even erode ordinary marriage, the family system. It's important. A father, a husband, a relation. If you maltreat people, you most likely maltreat those you don't know. If you maltreat those you know, come on, talk to me, guys. If you maltreat the people you know, how much more the people you don't know? We need to learn to lead ourselves. This evening, I'm just stirred up in my heart. And I want you to be too. I want you to start thinking of doing something where you are. We need to talk our emotions in. We need to be objective and work out our purpose. We need to choose our tools well. We need to set our direction. We need to focus. We need to lock our focus. Then our results will be without blemish. Some people will never mature as leaders. Agreed. For everyone. Because they remain insecure. They are self-defeating. They are juvenile. Meaning that they are intellectually immature. If you are intellectually immature, you might not be able to lead well. Because you'll be delinquent in the leadership process. If you are thinking that somebody is coming to shine ahead of you, let people shine. Let people shine in your light. Are we not all shining in the light of Jesus? Allow people to shine in your light. Allow your wife shine in your light. Personal leadership is imperative if you want to be great leaders. I'm going to stop here because next week we will talk about some stuff. We will talk about what self-leadership entails. We will begin to unpack some things. I hope these are stirred you up. Kindly share. God bless you.